Oh man, I messed up on the title. Hold on a second. Let me fix this title, guys. Give me a second. All right. Hello, good evening. It's High Priestess Jamila, and I am back to give y'all some information that you can actually use. Okay, that's all I can say. Hello, good evening. We thought that tonight it would be a good discussion. What would be a good discussion is where do us witches send bad energy and bad spirits to, like when we reverse it off of you, or when we cleanse you, is the question of the day. And so welcome. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. And so yeah, I just want to first start this discussion off that witchery is the best. It is never good to either take out your frustrations against people that are innocent, who have nothing to do with your own journey. And it's never good to try to put curses off on other people or project curses on other people. And I see it happening all the time. I do. And I don't know what that's about. I think it's got something to do with people that don't really know about necromancy, and how it actually works, and how working with spirits works. And so what you see often is people, and you see it happening all the time, especially to people that don't know. Like those of you that don't know about witchcraft and you wonder what's wrong, and you just all of a sudden things just start happening and you stay stuck for years. A lot of people stay stuck for years. And it's not good. It isn't. And since they've got most of the world afraid of witches and witchcraft and knowledge, because they say knowledge is the devil, then that's why we have so many people out here, instead of dealing with their own energy. Um, it's kind of like a bad chain letter. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to answer the question: where do we send bad spirits? It depends on where they came from. It depends on the origin of that bad spirit. It's really important for, if you do have a curse on you, for you to eventually, or if you have a bad spirit that either somebody keeps sending to you, or if you were born with one, for you to figure out what the damn origin of it is. Now, right now, with all of this sickness and things going on, my suspicion is that a lot of the bad spirits are actually coming from another space and time. You guys know that I do believe in past lives. I do believe that spirits can travel through time, and I do believe in gateways and portals and things of that nature. Most of y'all that are watching my channel does. Most of the spiritual community who has been more than accredited believes in this. Okay. So you can either get a bad spirit put up on you, either by someone ignorant transferring that spirit to you, trying to put that spirit on you. This happens often to women, especially sex workers, through sex magic. It's something that's kind of like a little secret. that men have, to where every bad thing that they have, they kind of feel like they can put it inside of a woman. And so this is the reason why sex workers will have bad spirits inside of them. But sex workers have gotten smart, right? They have. A lot of sex workers are witches. And so they know how to clear those things off of themselves, but not all of them do. Okay. But yeah, it's not unheard of for sex workers to know what they're doing, as far as with these males that have money. Just because a man has money doesn't mean that he doesn't have a curse on him. People are confused about that. Okay. Having money doesn't mean that you have a curse on you. But as you can see, especially people that are constantly talking about your money, there was somebody that put up a video saying that I had $0. Even though I've been cooking delicious and nutritious meals for my children, I have a fully functioning business. Apparently, this person that said that I had $0 must have had $0 herself and wanted to project it to me instead of maybe possibly dealing with her own spiritual issues. That's an example of projection. And they're doing a lot of it in social media. And I still don't understand why, because it doesn't work. Um, you can see an example of this in that movie called Drag Me to Hell. You guys can see an example of that when Christine Brown tries to project her curse to someone else instead of actually getting rid of it. And even though Sylvia Garnish was a very old lady, she died because of her old age. She was, everything was wrong. Christine Brown could have been saved. I felt so bad for her and Sylvia, because both of them just suffered from ignorance. Because Christine Brown, if she would have went to somebody that knew what they were doing, which she did essentially, but the ritual failed because the spirit that she was dealing with was too strong, which was it was the Lamia, which it was considered to be like fiction in the movie, but Lamia is actually another word for Lilith. Okay. And so it's not the same context when you think about Lilith. Okay. But she went around. The guy told her, "Oh, well, you must give this curse to someone else." And so she went around for hours and hours trying to figure out who she was going to give the curse to. And it was just really like crazy. And so then she figured, can I give it back to her? Finally, she figures that, but then she ends up giving her the wrong thing. She ends up giving her a coin instead of the button. But anyway, it was evident that Sylvia was going to win that battle with her. And so she ended up getting drugged to hell. And I think it was because she didn't get the proper guidance. Notice that the guy that she went to was a man. I'm no shade to male practitioners. I love you guys, but when it comes to things like this, I think that it was obvious in that movie, like what they were trying to say, because I believe that for so long, the whole thing was passed off to males, and he gave her nothing but bad advice after they tried to do the seance, and then another lady died. It was just really bad. Okay. So, anyway, no shade to male practitioners whatsoever, but it was bad advice. And I've been noticing, here's the reason why I'm bringing up male practitioners, because there are male practitioners out there that are selling services of curses and desperation and cursing their male clients. I'm going to tell you why and how they're doing that, because they are advertising to men ways of forcing a woman to be codependent. And I got to tell you this, when we catch male practitioners doing this, they're caught. There was a male practitioner advertising that you should curse a woman to make her come back to you, to make her codependent on you. And then they're also casting domination workings. This is the reason why males, and they're going to male practitioners. So I'm not talking about all of you male practitioners, but they will go to male practitioners that will offer them domination services. And what these men will do is they will beat the woman, they will mistreat the woman, and the woman is completely under this domination spell and really feeling like it's love. But it's actually a spirit that has been placed upon that woman. And what it does is, and what people will do, which is awful and horrible, this is the reason why a lot of you ladies, when you leave a bad relationship that's abusive, what you'll find that the world will do is the world will kick you down even more, because that man has that stronghold on you, and it's a curse. So this is the reason why I'm getting on you male practitioners. Okay. Oh yeah, absolutely, Bailey. Yeah, they are doing this in at an accelerated rate, and male practitioners should be more responsible than this. Okay, they should, you, yeah. um one of my clients said that he had saw an advertisement of a male practitioner that was telling men that if a woman leaves you, that you should curse her job, make her lose her job, so that she can be codependent and have to come back to you. I don't even have to tell you how that's not going to work out. And I am highly discouraging men from going even to a female practitioner that would do that to another, anybody that would do that, that it's not going to be or end well for you, because there's so many, like, witches are not stupid. That's a simple reversal that we do, especially domination work can be wiped out very quickly, like I'm talking about within minutes, so it's not worth it. Just try to stick to the real love and keep it real. Okay, but let's get back to the subject. Bailey, that's how they're able to create this environment, and society will even help them. It's so sad what they do, and so that's why I always look at male practitioners with a side eye, because they'll do all kinds of stuff that is very harmful, and it even ends up harming the man. Eventually it does. So it's kind of like, don't use our craft, because our craft was created by the woman. The woman created the magic, the medicine that you're using. She created it. Don't disrespect her and do harm to her. I'm talking about the woman. I'm not talking about some of these people that are running around here, because I've seen women, how like a man will be so demeaning to you and do something so horrible to you. And women, when we're done, we're done. Spirit will say, that's it. This man it's over. And people will say, oh, you're going to go back to him. Oh, y'all need to just get back together, the two of you. Yeah, no. And at that point, the woman is going to build up a resistance. And there are so many things that can protect you as a woman from stuff like that, because that's where you're taking advantage of the craft and you're using it for very destructive purposes. So, again, I run my company on ethics, and that things like that should not be done. Okay. Love you too, sis. Okay. Let's get back to bad spirits. Bad spirits have to be sometimes returned to the place where they came from. But I can tell you, as a spiritualist, as a practitioner that has been doing this for so long, that there is a way to destroy bad spirits. Sometimes we have to destroy them, like literally destroy a spirit. And what I'm noticing is that, especially, and that's why the whole male practitioner thing plays in, but it's not just male practitioners. Women practitioners, female practitioners will do that to other women that they don't like. You know, but basically, if you're noticing the influx of things that seem like they belong in another time, like men wanting women to be subservient to them. And I'm not talking about subservient to where you're just doing a little bit of BDSM play in the bedroom for fun. No, I am talking about real life trauma, drama, and real life destruction of your life. So you'll see women, they'll be doing totally fine without that man. And as soon as that man comes into her life, you notice that things start going downhill because he wants you underneath him. You notice that he'll be treating you as though you're underneath him, right? And things will be happening, and your life will start to slowly slip. It'll be a slippery slope. Okay, and a lot of y'all women got to understand, yeah, there's women out there that will try to weaponize men like that against you, but that man ultimately is making the choice. I know that there's people that will cast things to break you up, but you know what? You got to look at the heart of that man. Can some homes that are on the market not selling have bad spirits, especially the $1 million listing ones? How should they be cleaned out? That's a good question, Bailey. There are houses that do have bad spirits. Hold on a second, guys. You bringing me some cookies? Thank you, son. My son bought me some cookies. Um, that's kind of off the subject, but yeah, there could be a home with bad spirits in it, but honestly, um, if a home has a reputation for being haunted and certain occurrences happening in that home, I wouldn't even go there. Now, there are some people that like to go to those types of places just for fun. And I'd say that, it's nothing wrong with doing that because, there's bad spirits everywhere. But you can clean out homes. Um, I feel like because I'm the type of person that likes older homes. And I like to look at the haunted mansions and stuff. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? But I think that it depends um on what was happening there. And you do need to find out, and before you buy a home or rent a home, it's the best thing for you to do research on the house before you move into it. Yeah. I would do research on it and just not move into it at all. Now, if you end up moving in and there's bad spirits in the house, then it's not uncommon for that to happen. Call to your ancestors. You can even have a priest come in. The problem is that a lot of these priests from these churches have worse spirits on them that are residing in these houses. So you have to really have a priest that represents purity and piety, and not very many of them do. So if you have a house like that and you are Catholic or Christian, yeah, you can have a priest come and bless your house. But what's wrong with having your ancestors come in? Because a lot of the times, if there's bad spirits in the house that are trying to harm you, okay, Yeah, that's another thing. False ones, those that don't believe in their religion, but they're just doing it because they want money. And there's a lot of them out there too. They don't actually believe in it, right? There's yeah. Um, but call to your ancestors, and so it's not uncommon in houses to where in this other realm your ancestors or either your guardians are pretty much battling and kicking their asses, and then sometimes they'll even run them off or destroy them. So it's not to say that houses that are haunted with bad spirits have to be abandoned, or you can't actually live in them, but I think that it has to be somebody that knows, like, um you know the best examples that I can give you guys is movie references. And so with that one, I'm going to say Amityville. That would be the best one that I can like describe to y'all. There was extremely malevolent spirits in the Amityville house, and I believe it's based upon a true story. And so nobody that actually goes, you notice how whenever people go in these haunted houses, nobody in the house that moves in is a witch. I would love to see, what the next Amityville needs to be is the witch family versus the Amityville house. Because can you imagine if the Adams family moved into the Amityville house? They would run them spirits up out of there. So if an actual witch, that knew what she was doing, lived in one of them houses, but every time you look at these movies, the theme is people being very ignorant to it. So that, the fact that they do that, it means something. You know what I'm saying? Because they're basically saying, look at these people, they're moving into this house and these spirits are in it, but they don't know anything. They're just ignorant, right? Some I notice are clingy and want attention in the physical realm, like those spirit dolls. Yeah. Silence of the Lamb. Silence of the Lamb. And I have to look at that movie again, sis. But what spirits, how they are able to affect you is through time and space. Because technically the whole world is haunted. What what connects us to these spirits are the astral. And the astral does consist of these gateways and these portals, in my humble opinion. And those spirits have to be returned to the time that they're in. You can actually protect your home by doing simple things, two simple things, three simple things: protecting the mirrors in your house, keeping a calendar put up in your house, and keeping a clock in your house, especially one of them old grandfather clocks. But like if you have like a digital clock that goes on the wall, believe it or not, that's protection. Because what it does is it keeps you in that current time, especially a calendar. You'd be surprised at how powerful it is to have a calendar in your house. That's not the only thing that you should do, you know. And in this day and age where everybody has the time and the date on their phone, people will look and say, why do people have calendars anymore? Well, calendars are made out of paper, which is made from trees. And you can actually consecrate that calendar because technically, a lot of bad spirits, when you think about it, let's say that somebody died or was killed in your home 5 years ago, but you move in 5 years later, that spirit is from 5 years ago. That's the spirit of the past. Those spirits may not know that. So they're able to kind of like roam through the house. So little things like that, because witchcraft is much more, the whole thing when it comes to spirits and spiritual, it's so much more complicated than people can even understand it. And I believe that they can cause confusion. That's a part of the chaos. That's a part of the chaos. Is okay, your spirit from 500 years ago, but it's October the 19th, 2023. What are you doing here? You don't even belong here. Or either a scenario, you know what I'm saying? Like a scenario that happened. So that's more of an advanced, that's like what I'm talking about, many people would not understand. Okay. What I just talked about. But you know, there have been spirits that have followed me, and those spirits are from like the 1920s. And I'm like, why is this spirit here? And it's not that I'm imagining it. What happens is that spirit will give you a sign, and you'll be like, what is that? What's going on with this spirit? And then you'll learn the history of the spirit. And then you'll be like, well, damn, I'm experiencing that. And then you'll learn stuff that the spirit had went through, and you'll notice that those scenarios are playing out in your life. So that's why I don't just let any old spirit near me. Not no more. I like I'm not open to everything. Nah, I'm sorry. And I keep a guardian at the gateway. Is because anything and everything will come through there. Next thing you know, you be just tormented all the damn time. And people be like, "Oh God, it's the devil. It's tormenting me." No, those are spirits. Okay. Now, if you're harassing somebody like Jamila and my spirits are tormenting you, that's different. Because my spirits have been known to torment people. Leave her because they're telling you leave her alone. And so I guess some people like that, but So anyway, am I ready for Halloween? No, I'm not. I'm not ready for Halloween. Ready for Halloween would be me back to my hometown. I want to go back to my hometown, and I'm working on getting back there before Halloween. Yeah. So I'm not quite ready yet. I would love to, just go back to Kansas City, Missouri. And that's just, yeah, because I want to, I like to spend time with the kiddos and stuff for Halloween. So that, that's like a Halloween wish that I'm making, to be back like a few days before Halloween, and back with my kids and my grandbaby and everybody together and stuff. But as far as being ready for Halloween, yeah, but as far as where I'd like to be right now, I don't want to be in Georgia. I don't want to be here whatsoever. Okay, and yeah, if you guys I don't know if you guys watched the live that I did. I'm actually moving back. I'm relocating back to my hometown. So Divine Services is going back to my hometown. Hello, where my granny's bones are buried. And yeah, it's gonna happen very soon. But I hope that it's by Halloween. You know. So anyway, that's what I would like to happen. And I'm probably, if I'm not back there, I'm probably gonna worry the hell out of my kids on Halloween. I'll probably be on the phone with them. Um, I know you are, sis. I know you are. Um, am I tired of the ATL? No, I actually love Georgia. I ain't been doing nothing but blessing Georgia since I got here. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a part of my travels. I had a job to do while I was here or while I'm still here. I have done nothing but bless this entire state. So no, I'm not tired. I'm not upset at the residents of Georgia. I have nothing against ATL. I think it's a place that's filled with a lot of rich history. I love the people down here, but it's time for me to go home to my babies. And there's certain people down here that I don't like, that I'd rather get very far away from, you know? But otherwise, it has nothing to do with those people. It's simply because it's time for me to go back home and hug my auntie, hug my babies. Well, hug my babies first. Okay, because I'm ready. My grandbaby, she been on Messenger with me. She just be going on and on about the Little Mermaid, and I want to go home and watch Little Mermaid with my grandbaby, her and Jacob. Okay, so that's where I'm at, and I already know. I was happy when I moved to eight. I've been happy. I'm happy here now, regardless to the issues, the problems, the troubles, the bad landlords, the craziness. There's no hate in my heart. It's all love. But it's just that I'm ready to. And I've got to hug my grandchild. I've got to get back to my roots. In the first place, that's why I want to go back, because I would love to go to the cemetery on Halloween or around Halloween, go visit my granny's grave, go visit everybody's grave site, and leave them offerings and stuff. So, that it is. I've got to go home. I've done my job here, and I did an excellent job doing what I'm doing here. And it's time for me to go back. Kind of think of it as like Mary Poppins. So I'm like Mary Poppins. I flew in here in a van, and I'm gonna fly up out of here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm gonna get on a plane, y'all. I think it's only like an hour plane ride. So I think I don't know how Jacob would feel about that though. So I may stay on the ground. I'm not sure. I've been avoiding the trip. Spirit gonna lead me. Spirit gonna lead me exactly how I'm gonna get back home. hmm It's not in Kansas. No, Kansas. Yeah, Kansas to me is a little bit better than, in Missouri. There's a lot of historical areas in Missouri. It's a lot of, and I do I like the real estate market down here in Georgia better. Georgia is bigger, so it's broader, because I was actually looking at some real estate down there, and I was just like, you know, don't fly, Spirit. And I don't even know if I'm going to fly, because, I don't, Spirit gonna lead me. I might take a train, or, it's, I don't think it's that long of a train ride back down to, uh, you know, my hometown. I don't think that it's that long of a train ride. So we may end up on the train. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out, but it's definitely coming. It's definitely happening. And I know that it's like somebody don't want me to leave. I already know people don't want me to leave, but I'm leaving. So, when I get ready for my travels, of course, work is going to be put in to make sure that I, just breathe through it. It'll almost be like being rebirthed. So we gonna make it. We gonna make it safely, and I am gonna be so astronomically happy because people don't realize that I miss my kids. They were here in 2020. They didn't really like it here, and then people were bullying us, and they were, because it's some people that don't want us here because for some reason when somebody, I guess, that you're feeling like um not intimidated, but if you feel threatened by somebody, they can't go where I'm going back. Okay. But no, the cost of living is not cheaper in Kansas. I'm not from Kansas. I'm from Missouri. Kansas is right across the state line, though. They're very close together. They're right there. Um, Cost of living in Kansas is a little, it depends on what area you're at in Kansas City. But I know my kids are excited. I haven't told Tyrese yet, but he's getting ready to find out. And I'm sure he's gonna be more than excited to be reunited. And I'm with his us. And we may not necessarily stay in Missouri the rest of our lives, but I know that the next time if I decide to relocate, all of us are leaving together. If that is the decision that is made. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? Okay. But anyway, yeah, here's the point of this whole discussion. I'm gonna wrap this up. Um, there is a place to put these bad spirits. If it's a bad spirit that is very malevolent, when you tell a bad spirit to go to hell, you can do that too. You can send bad spirits back to hell. That um a lot of people think, oh, it's a bad spirit, just send it back to hell. And that would make sense, but it's not that simple, which is why discernment is required. Okay. That's why when you guys are trying to do these reversals, you have to understand that some curses are coming from spirits. Not all of them, but sometimes it's both. So just lighting a reversal candle without not having any discernment, it ain't gonna do nothing. That's why everybody can't just pick up candles and start playing with them, because there is a process that we go through when we are removing that curse from you. Okay. And yes, there is curse and exorcisms and reversals that are required. And, yes, there are people that do that, and I am one of them. Do I feel that if I do work for somebody, the situation is going to affect me? No. None of the cases that I have taken affects me, because ever so often what I do is I banish, I cleanse, and yeah, there are clients that we are facing spiritual battles together, because I do have a couple of cases that are ongoing to where client reverses it, somebody sends it back. It's a lot more complicated, because some of my clients are meant to learn this stuff, to learn what they're supposed to do, right? And then also, as your spiritualist and your practitioner, if you have somebody constantly sending you bad spirits and you have to be around that person and they're purposely, pushing bad spirits onto you, that's something to where, you just gonna have to like be adamant about that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to keep that person away from you. Because there are a lot of people that instead of, taking care of their responsibility, they're coming to you to just kind of splooge these bad spirits on you. Everything that's going wrong in their life, they're directing that towards you. Studying, Bailey, for your question, I would suggest studying for the test. If you're having a hard time studying, I mean, I guess you could do a quick spell to help you pass the test to, but I would say studying. If you don't want to study, then you need to maybe listen to some frequencies that help you focus. Classical music would be one of them, because what classical music does, and then some of them have subliminals in them for success. So a lot of people, the reason why you can't pass a test is because you're distracted. It's, you're in, a lot of people have spirits. They have certain things that they've experienced, or maybe it could have been things that happened in the womb, or maybe things that were happening in the home that could have caused ADHD. I'm not saying that any parent that has ADHD did something to their child. I'm not saying that. But, I do think that, when it comes to, having violence in the home, or insisting on keeping this crazy man in your house that's acting cray cray in front of your kids, not having a calm environment, saying stuff like, oh, that's daddy, that's that. Like, yeah, no. I think those things cause maybe not ADHD in children, but it will cause adult ADHD. Okay. Yeah, he is Freddie. He is. And yeah, he is a stalker. So is his girlfriend. They're oddly odd, weirdly weird, differently different is what I can describe them. Okay. So anyway, the if yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, that's pretty much it. What I wanted to talk about. Mhm. Uh, that's the way that we do it, you know. And yeah, you know what? Here's another thing. There are some spirits that need healing. Like sometimes the spirit may be plaguing you because it needs to heal. And in that case, this is the reason why I do work with the angelic realm, like Saint Raphael and Saint Michael. So sometimes when I'm in ritual and I'll pick up on a bad spirit that needs to be healed, then I will ask Saint Raphael to heal it, because technically those are things that are happening in the spirit realm, and it's not technically our responsibility to do that. That's not our job to heal spirits. Okay, it's not our job. I know that we all saw the Jennifer, what was it, Jennifer Love Hewitt, True Calling, and she would actually run into these spirits that it was her responsibility to heal them. And eh, that's not how my spirit guides guide me to do things, you know. So if I ask Saint Raphael to heal somebody, he'll do it because he's one of my right hand people. Okay. So, and then Saint Michael protects me from really bad spirits and bad shit. So even though I work with Lilith and dark spirits, I definitely, a lot of people say, well, that's so confusing. Well, no, it's not, because there's a time when you want to work with the ones that we considered, to me, they're all the same, because, to me, there's no difference between an angel and a fallen angel. And that is okay for me to feel that way because I am having the human experience. I just have to do what I have to do, right? It's okay for me to feel that way because I'm having a human experience. So I'm going to do whatever is needed. Okay. So, and that's just what that is. Okay. And yes, if you are a witch, you can definitely work with Saint Michael. He does work well with pagans and Satanists, because Satanism is not about worshiping the devil and, sacrificing, and doing all that weird stuff. And it's not always about that. It depends on what your journey is. I am a mother with 4 kids and a grandbaby. So, of course, my experience is not going to be about certain things. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm also not, a lot of people will say, oh, well, you're just a whore of Satan. Well, actually, I'm not a whore at all. But, everybody that is a Satanist does not have to be a whore. In fact, a lot of people that practice Satanism, um, which I'd love to do a panel with Jasmine about this, is some of them are virgins. Okay. And they, so it's not about sex. Everybody always equates everything to sex. Now, you know now I am somebody that's sexually active. I'm not right now I'm celibate, but I'm not the type of person that goes around sleeping around. I don't do that. Okay. So, if I have a nice little romance whenever I go back to KC Mo, I'm open to it, you know? Okay. But, so yeah, everybody isn't the same, And so people always want to label people and they want people to be who they are. And it's just weird. Okay. All right, guys. I don't know how we got on that subject, but yeah. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this and y'all have a good night. Okay. I gotta go. All right. Blessings. Bye.